from Jane, as always, back here at the breakfast table. Hey, Nate, I feel like this is going to be one of the better games of the week, and there's a lot of good ones. What are you looking for in Cowboys-Falcons?
I'm looking at the Cowboys running game. I was talking with Hamilton, our genius researcher / producer / friend. He was kind of schooling me up on Ezekiel Elliott and what he's meant to this offense. And he said he has 35 catches already this season. That's a career high for him. So we know he's going to be an extension of the passing game like we're seeing right here. Of course, these guys are one of the best screen teams next to Kamara and the Saints and Gurley and the Rams. But this right here, rushing the ball. Rushing attack for these guys is going to be imperative for these guys to get the win. The Cowboys have won 3 out of the 4 games where Ezekiel Elliott has rushed over 100 yards. That right there should blow you away. That right there for Scott Linehan should be your bread and butter. The games where he's rushing 60, 70, 80 yards, that's not going to get you the dub. If you hand the ball off, and not in the passing, I'm talking about hand the ball off to this guy and let him control the clock and keep going, they'll have a bigger chance to win. So for me, it's the rushing attack. Of course, Zeke having a big game and total scrimmage yards is fine, and it's great for fantasy, but they have to hand the ball off old school 3 yards in a cloud of dust style to get this team going.
Nate, it's so true. And play-to-play, we dissect Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. I mean, literally, national audience.
You're right.
They did this on 3rd and 3. They should have done that.
That's right.
That team is still under the microscope. But I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons. You could argue, with the exception of the Vikings losing to the Bills earlier this season in Minnesota, the Falcons laying that egg against the Cleveland Browns last week in Cleveland was the worst loss any team has suffered all season long. They had won 3 out of 4 games. They were surging. They go into Cleveland, and a rookie quarterback and a bunch of unknown offensive skill players, Rashard Higgins and Hilliard. And
new head coach.
Right.
New running back, too.
And new running back, and then offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens is an old running backs coach who was playing like he was Paul Johnson from Georgia Tech, running triple option, and it was a garbage performance from the Falcons. Garbage. That is as bad a loss as I've seen outside of that Vikings one. And it might be worse because this team needed it more this stage of the season. So if I'm a Falcons fan or if I'm a Falcons observer, what do you got? That is as bad as it gets to have Greg Williams pumping his fist in your face. You're Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
And you've coached in Super Bowls, and you've come back from 28-3 to take your team to a playoff. This is where we need Dan Quinn. This is where the Falcons need to rise up. This is where the brotherhood, like all that
Set
stuff,
it off.
All that stuff is garbage when you lose to the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield and a bunch of no-names. So if I'm a Falcons fan, this is the game. And if I'm an observer of the NFL, Jason Garrett can be dissected all he wants. The Falcons need to show up. And the coaching staff of the Falcons need to rise up. This is a game to win at home against Dallas with everyone watching.
If Dak wakes up feeling pretty dangerous, they're going to be in trouble.
You're right.
They'll be out for blood for sure. And the guy that can lead them to a win and to the playoffs is Matt Ryan. And I feel like, granted, a loss to the Browns does not help his case for how well he's playing, but the numbers do bear out. We all know he had a brilliant MVP season back in 2016. Let's stack his numbers this year through 10 weeks against what he's doing. I mean, he's playing at an MVP level yet again this year. In addition to those numbers, he has 13 touchdowns to 1 interception in the red zone. He's put an end to that whole, I'm allergic to the red zone, I need red zone drill, I'm not hitting Julio Jones for touchdowns. He's improving week to week. The defense is ranked 30th. The defense obviously needs to step up a little bit and help him out. They're giving up about 30 points a game, and that's going to be an issue. But back to Matt Ryan, like, there's something about him that an element to him I haven't seen before, and you guys pointed it out to me. Let's take a look at him on the sidelines and just his extracurriculars, his body language. I've never seen this man. Who is this guy, guys?
Give me that.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. It's like Matty Rage. I've not really seen it either, but it was appropriate. I want to see that from him.
Fired up. I love it. A win over the Cowboys and their number 3 defense, by the way, a huge challenge for Matt Ryan this week, puts them within 1 game of a playoff spot. Hopefully they can rebound because we've seen it before.
Yeah, and that was Matty Fire. We haven't seen him before. Okay, you said 30th ranked defense, so I look at the Cowboys offense. Let's go. You know, in parenting, there's a stage of regressions where you think you potty train the kid. Next thing you know, you're pulled over on the turnpike with an accident. It gets you like that. I don't want to see the Cowboys have a regression. Went to Philly, you put up 27. It looked good offensively. Don't take a step back now. Evolve. I was the guy saying they run the Tecmo Bowl offense. It's 4 plays. You know what they're coming. They upgraded to Tecmo Super Bowl last year. It's 8 plays. Now I want to see Cyber Ball. I want to see Joe Montana talking football. I want to see Mutant League football.
Yeah.
Mike Ditka's quarterback attack.
Joe Montana Sports Talk football.
Don't take that step back. Just when we're starting to believe that Linehan, Garrett, et al. Have figured it out. 30th ranked defense. Give me at least Genesis, maybe Neo Geo. Do not regret to 8 bits or you'll score 8 points.
Matt Fire.
Cyberball?
He went cyberball. The ball exploded.
Landmine. What a game.
Great game.
What a time.
This is going to be a great game.
Hey, baby.
It'll be a lot of fun, and we're here for it. How about the Texans? They